Assalamualaikum to Dr. Zafira. So today my group and I will be present about our mini project of HCCP Plan as the topic given to us about the ready-to-drink juice of local foods. So the title of our project is the pasteurized guava juice, and the name of our company is the SOVC Industry. So this is our group members. We are all from group 9, and my name is Nur Atira binti Nur Hisham, and my matric number is 200938. I will start our video presentation with the company profile. So on the right side of the slide, we have the logo of our brand, which is the SOVC since 2016. So SOVC actually stands for source of vitamin C, so that is why we actually choose that name. So SOVC is a privately owned company in Malaysia with the main office in Kuala Lumpur, and we sold our first ready-to-drink juice in April 2016 and has been serving guava juice ever since. So SOVC began selling this ready-to-drink guava juice to meet the demand of consumers. So this is actually a brand of healthy option, as we sell to consumer whether they are a healthy conscious or an occasional healthy eater. So why we choose guava as the main ingredient for our ready-to-drink juice? Because these guava juice are nutritious drink with outstanding taste and health benefit. At the same time, their composition is associated with impaired preferences. We actually sell our product in a paper box available in 160 ml. Next, for the mission of our company is we endeavor to ensure the supply, quality, safety, and value for the money by lowering production costs and maximizing supply chain control. So for the vision of our brand is to be the most recognized brand that sells high quality and offers a nutritious guava juice by 2025. So we can achieve these goals successfully by further developing our efficient and sustainable supply chain between fruit supplier and final product manufacturers in the food industry. So next, I will be explain about the organization chart of our company. So this is the organization chart that start with the board of the directors. Next, the second level we have the director, which is Dr. Nur Zafira Nur Hasnan, the personal assistant. Next, the operation manager, which is Luqman Hakim bin Hamdan. Second, the maintenance engineer, Nur Atira binti Hisham. And we also have quality assurance manager, which is Nurul Azza binti Abdul Manap, and mysotoxicologist, which is Tan Yu Yin. So under the operation manager, there is a few branches that need to be taken care of, which is production planning and control, processing and production, and purchasing. I'll continue with the HCCP team and profile. So the HCCP team leader is Luqman Hakim bin Hamdan as the operation manager. So he has a Bachelor of Process and Food Engineering, and he been working in food and beverage industry for 8 years already, and he is responsible for coordinating and assisting with overall competency to management and employees with regards to the operational aspects. Second, he needs to ensure overall implementation and management of food safety system. He also needs to periodically supervise the area involved in the process production as well as verifying the system documentation. Next, we have the maintenance engineer, which is me, Nur Atira binti Nur Hisham. I had experience as a manager. I've been working at Nestle for like 6 years, and I have Bachelor of Process Food Engineering. So my job scope is I need to maintain and coordinate our company food safety, and I need to ensure all machineries and equipment maintained according to the sanitary design, which is important step to ensure the production result. And thirdly, I need to perform preventive maintenance of all equipment in the plant, and I need to do a permanent inspection of the process parameters in each of the stages. Next, we have the quality assurance manager, which is Nurul Azavinti Abdul Manap. She's the Bachelor of Technology, and she has 4 years of experience as a supervisor at Barry's Chocolate Factory. So, for her food safety job responsibilities, she need to coordinate the ongoing development requirement of the food safety program. She also need to identify corrective action required and escalation of major concerns. So, she also need to complete the food supplier audit. And lastly, she need to verify compliances with the cleaning and sanitation plan of all equipment and environment of the production area. Next, Tan Yuying as the mycotoxicologist. She has the Bachelor of Science in Food Science, and she's been working in food production for like 5 years. What she need to do is she need to ensure the quality control of raw material and final products. She also need to determine the critical point in the process flow based on the contamination level, and to carry out cleaning and disinfection operations of raw material, equipment to final products. Next, Tan Yuying will continue our presentation to the next slide.
In this case study, the hazard scope is applied to the pack pasteurizer guava juice in the SOVC industry. The hazard will explain about the hazard analysis, control method, and the production stage that involves. In the case study, we expected the hazard plan will be applied from the receiving of raw material until the shipping stage. So in the slide, we show you the production line that will be covered in the hazard scope. However, due to the high possibility of contamination, the raw material handling, grinding, and pasteurizations need more attention in the hazard system. This is some possible hazard that will be the target to solve in the hazard plan of pasteurized guava juice. In this case study, we will consider all 3 major types of hazard, that is, chemical, biological, and physical. In this guava juice processing, we will consider the cleaning chemical, maintenance chemical, mycotoxin and food additives for chemical, bacteria, fungi, and insects for biological, and plastic, accessories, and seeds for the physical hazards. So here is our food safety policy. In the SOVC industry, our company is manufacturing the product with a consideration of consumer-oriented food safety. We are committed to establish a safe product for our customer and to improve the product consistently with unwavering efforts based on the hazard principle. Our industry has 6 food safety objectives: training, product testing, customers evaluation, suppliers evaluation, swab test, and recall plan. The following objectives in a unit of year. To ensure that all staff in the production line is equipped with the knowledge of food safety, HR in SOVC industry will ensure all employees undergo 12 hours of the food safety training every year, and newcomers must complete the training before they are enrolling. QA and QC inspectors in the industry were responsible for the product testing part. By the testing, we can ensure the products in the production line free of hazards and safe from the unsafe additives or contamination. Besides, by the test, we can determine the microorganisms inside the guava juice. To the food safety apply, only the product under the fixed limit of 10 CFU per milliliter will be sold as it is safe. Moreover, the food safety in the product testing can make sure that the final product will lower possibility of contamination through the good manufacturing practice. For food safety in the processing also put an attention on defections during the selling process to avoid the undesired intake after open the selling, which is might as a source of contamination. On the other hand, the food safety examines the ascorbic content of the final product to maintain it at the level that fulfills the requirement. So through the food safety, this industry also evaluates the supplier. Only the supplier that fulfills the requirement of food safety with up to 80% scores in the evaluation will be selected. In the applications of food safety, the industry also expected complaint cases from the customers and the satisfactory rate on the food safety were up to 60% of the total score. Both of the objective is under the responsibility of hazard team. The hazard team also carry out food safety, so in the swab case of any surface that the food might contact with is totally sterilized. At the same time, the target of no record cases is possible contented under the implementations of food safety.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hi, my name is Mahki bin Hamdan and my matrix number is 200388. Okay, next I will talk about our product. First, the materials that we use are water, guava extract, sugar, citric acid, vitamin C, and also food coloring. And for the certificate that we got is Malaysian Halal certification and GMP, which is Good Manufacturing Practice. And the intended use of our product is ready to drink juice, meaning that the consumer can drink directly from our product. And last, our intended customer are young and old generation.
Okay, next I will explain the process flow diagram for our product. First, the receiving of the raw materials. All the ingredients we receive are from the trusted suppliers, including the water supply. And all the supply must be in good condition and be inspected if there are any damage to the supply. The stocks for guava fruits, sugar, vitamin C, citric acid, and food coloring arrive 2 times in a week, which is on Tuesday and also Friday. While for the water supply, the stocks will come every day. So the conveyor belt will be used for all the process to make the transport become easier. Okay, next for the storage. The raw materials will be stored in dry and cold storage, and as for the packaging, it will be stored in different storage, which is in packaging storage. The dry storage is in room temperature, while the cold storage is about 10 degrees Celsius. For the raw materials that be stored in dry storage are guava fruits and also sugar. As for the citric acid, vitamin C, and food coloring, it will be stored in the cold storage. Okay, next, the guava fruit will go through the washing process. The model that we use for this process is Dormarker 2011 KFT. The guava fruit will be washed first to make sure the fruits is clean from any dirt. After washing, the guava fruit will go through the cooling process. This process is done manually by the workers and it takes roughly about 1 hour. Then it will go through the grinding process. The guava fruit will go into the grinding machine for about 20 minutes in this process. After the guava fruit is grinded well, it will go through the mixing process. The model that we use for this process is KQ 100 liter to 30,000 liter from brand Kai Kwan. And this process takes for about 30 50 minutes. After the mixing process, it will go through the pasteurization process that takes only about 15 seconds at 105 degrees Celsius. The model that we use for this pasteurization process is Shiva Engineers. The pasteurization is the process which the bacteria is being killed and the microbial growth is stopped. After the pasteurization process, the process will go to the next process, which is the cooling process. The cooling process use a cooling tank, and the temperature for this process is 8 degrees Celsius. The model machine that we use for this process is ACE ZNLG E695 from brand ACE.
After the cooling process, it will go through the adding additive that takes about 50 minutes. And the machine that we use is from the brand Kajiwara model cooking cooling homogenizer. And specific heats, specific temperature being set during processing to keep the temperature safe for the vitamin C. After that, the packaging. Filling machine that we use to fill the juice into the Tetra packs is from the Tetra Pack company, which is the model E3/Speed. This model is specialized for the packaging that we use, which is Tetra Brick Aseptic 160 ml. And after that, the secondary packaging will be also done in this process. After the packaging, the product will be stored in low temperature storage, which is 8 to 10 degrees Celsius. Cold storage will be enabled to the product to be stored longer for a period of time. And it also to make sure our product does not deteriorate or rotten before it gets delivered. And the final process is shipping. The shipping needs to be in room temperature, which is 23 to 26 degrees Celsius, and we will use lorry to carry out this process. Our product will go through the supermarket, hypermarket, and also convenience store.
Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Azza binti Abdul Manya and my matric number is 201113. Now I will present about the HCCP principle. There are 7 principles included in the HCCP principle. The first principle is hazard analysis. Hazard analysis is done to analyze any potentially harmful biological, chemical or physical properties in raw materials and processing stage, and also to estimate the likelihood of their occurrence and potential to make food dangerous to eat. The second principle is critical control point. A critical control point is a point, a phase, or a method in the manufacturing process when control can be used to avoid, remove, or decrease a food safety danger to an acceptable level. The third principle is critical limit. Critical limit is a criteria that distinguishes acceptability from unacceptability. The fourth principle is monitoring. Monitoring is a systematic series of observations or measurements used to determine if a crucial control point is under control and to provide an accurate record for later verification. The fifth principle is corrective action. So, when the result of monitoring at the critical control point shows that the limit have been exceeded, then only then corrective action will be taken. The sixth principle is verification. Verifications involve the use of techniques, process, tests, and other assessments to determine compliance with the HCCP plan. So the last principle is records and documentation. A HCCP system record should comprise records for critical control points, critical limits, corrective actions, verification, activity results, and the HCCP plan, which should also include hazard analysis. So next, I will present about the HCCP plan for the guava juice. So the first CCP is for a culling process. So the significant hazard found is chemical hazard, which is aflatoxin. The critical limit set that is not more than 1% visually spot guava after culling. So monitoring, 5 kilogram rod in guava sample is monitored. And how do we monitor it is we cut the rod and weight the rod. And the frequency is twice per production run. So who is responsible for this monitoring is quality control inspector. Corrective action that is taken is the damaged fruit is removed prior to any pathogen reduction treatments on the fruit surface. So the verification is we need to analyze carefully each fruit. Records required for this CCP is record of amount for spot guava fruits. So the second CCP is grinding. The significant hazard found is physical hazard, which is metal pieces. So the critical limit is no metal is detected. So what is monitored is integrity of screen. So how do we monitor it is depends on the vision. So the frequency is twice every day, which is before operation and after operation, and this monitoring is done by the operators. So the corrective action is check the grinding wheel and the grinding shield if there is any damage every time before operation is started. And secondly, ensure the flanges and other parts are assembled properly to make sure the machine can work properly. So the verification is limit the amount of guava fruit that need to be ground for each batch, and clean up the machines at least 2 to 3 times per week. The records needed is record of amount for guava juice each batch. The third CCP is pasteurization. The hazard found is viral hazard, which is Staphylococcus aureus and protozoan. For chemical hazard is pathogens. The critical limit is pasteurization temperature should be between 102 degrees Celsius to 105 degrees Celsius for 15 seconds only. So what is monitored is the thermometer sensor. How do we monitor it is the sensor have an error tolerance within a range of 0.5 degrees Celsius from actual value of guava juice. The frequency is daily, and the person responsible for this monitoring is quality assurance inspectors and operators. So the corrective action is reheat and ensure the temperature of the reconstituted guava juice reach 105 degrees Celsius if the temperature of pasteurization does not reach critical limit, and the pasteurization process needs to be conducted for 15 seconds to ensure all the microorganisms have been killed. If the product exceeded the microbiological limit that have been stated in the product description, the operator should isolate the affected products. The verification is the temperature used for pasteurization and time taken will be recorded daily. Microbiological tests will be conducted, and the calibration of thermometer is done at least twice a year. The record needed is temperature log, record of microbiological tests, and thermometer calibration log. The fourth CCP is adding of ascorbic acid process. The hazard found is biological hazard, which is E. coli Serratia, and overdosage of ascorbic acid. So the critical limit is concentration of ascorbic acid in guava juice is 60 milligram per 100 ml. So what is monitored in this is concentration of ascorbic acid in every 100 ml. How do we monitor it is inspection using high performance liquid chromatography, HPLC method. So the frequency is per operation and the person responsible for it is QC inspector. The corrective action is the guava juice will be processed if amount of vitamin C exceed 0.332 kg per batch. Verification is the temperature of reconstituted guava juice before adding vitamin C will be recorded, and then we need to conduct iodine tests to determine the concentration of vitamin C. The record needed is temperature log, record of iodine test on reconstituted guava juice. And the last CCP is packaging. The hazard found is physical hazard, which is contamination. So the critical limit is temperature should be maintained around 260 degrees Celsius. So what is monitored here is removal of strips, and how we monitor it is using manual longitudinal strips, strip sealing, transversal sealing, and red dye for TS for transversal sealing. So the frequency is every hour, and QA inspector is responsible for this monitoring. Corrective action is discard any foreign material with commonly plastic fragments in the reconstituted guava juice. The verification is using food radar system to detect any foreign material, which is commonly plastic fragment inside the reconstituted guava juice. And record needed is record of monitoring certificate from the pest control company.
For the standardization standard operation procedure in the industry, the main concern is on these 7 categories. The systematic cleaning is referred to the scheduled cleaning and sanitation, trained staff for cleaning, inspector to check the cleanliness regularly. The cleaning should be carried out at least once a day. If chemical applied, the space should be rinsed with water again. No waste shall stay more than 1 hour in the production area. The proper storage and labeling is mainly established for the chemical use. The place to store must be closable and far from the production line. The regular cleanliness is also important for the toilet and water basin. The contamination due to the ventilation or drainage, and the close contaminations between the road and the cooked guava juice should be eliminated. Pest control should not be hazardous and practiced consistently in industry. All water used in this industry is potable, and the staff that are sick will not involve in SOBC industry production lines.
In conclusion, our company hopes that the company's vision, which is to be the world's most recognized brand that offers guava juice that is high in quality and nutrition, can be achieved by 2025. So our effort to reach the vision are establishment of HCCP team. The establishment of HCCP team has helped the company to create a good HCCP plan in order to increase the product safety in terms of physical, biological, and also chemical. Next, our effort is improve quality in machinery, ingredients used, and customer service. And lastly, our effort to reach the vision of using trained workers. The workers are being trained in many aspects, especially in terms of safety and cleanliness. Thus, our company believes that the vision of the company can be achieved by 2025. I think that's all from us. Thank you.